Hello everyone. So there are a lot of things to talk about. There has been a lot of progress for me in the game and a lot of changes. So first I'll talk about Vortex of Projection. The build is complete, so the video I released has a complete build. If you want to play that, watch the video. It's 1 hour long, but the build is great. So I have played it for hundreds of hours. So I have done the swap. I'm no longer Vortex of Projection and I'm no longer Hierophant character. So I have changed my ascendancy. The thing with RPG that your playtime, your interest in the game exists as long as you have a room to grow. So as long as you can upgrade your character, as long as you can get like stronger and stronger and stronger. So this is a game loop, right? And whenever you reach some level, you still want to get stronger, even a little bit. So you want to have potential to improve. And with Vortex of Projection, I felt that I have reached some kind of ceiling. So the character was very strong, it was very fast, it had one-shot ogres. But the thing is, I felt that I have reached a ceiling. And the problem is in the Archmage setup. Archmage doesn't allow you to reserve your mana. And because you can't reserve your mana, you cannot use auras. And because you can't use auras, you are very limited in your build development. And the thing is, I had the bad chest, so I sold most of my gear for Vortex. That's the money I used for crafting in the current build. And you want to get a mirror tier chest with high energy shield or in stack or something like this in the end game. But with Vortex of Projection, you cannot do that, because if you get the chest, you have to go Chaos Inoculation. If you go Chaos Inoculation, you can only use one aura, which will probably be Clarity, to be honest, because and using Eternal Blessing Clarity feels kind of weird. I will put the footage of my new build, some of the videos I made a lot of clips. So this build is Inquisitor, Incinerating of venting something, so you just vent your frustration with the game like this. There are downsides to this build, so it's not like super great as well. The clear is not the greatest, so as you can see, it's just I got some radius of effect, but the radius is not the best. It took me so first things first, this is a much more expensive build. Okay, so all what I had on Vortex is like the baseline for Incinerate of it. So you need to have Simplex, you need to have Mage Blood just to begin. Okay, and from that point I have invested over 600 divines and I was crafting all my items. So if you don't want to craft, you probably want like 3 mirrors. And I've seen a lot of people with 3 mirrors. And I craft this item, as you can see. Mana reservation, energy shield, almost 500 energy shield. So I had 530 energy shield and I recrafted it to be less energy shield but more area of effect, because area of effect is something that you desperately need on this build. The second thing is we swapped that thing we had for Tranquility. I think we had Primal Spirit. Tranquility is the must go here, it's absolute banger. And the third thing is I have crafted myself a chest piece. So this one was quite expensive to craft, I think 150 or even 200 divines. I messed up with the fracture. I fractured the wrong stat, and because of that it was very hard to roll prefixes double tier 1. To roll double tier 1 I had to spend an extra 60-80 divines, and it was a miserable experience. And I have crafted myself a pair of boots. So this build is also quite strong. I think on DPS it's not that much more than Vortex, but it has a lot more tankiness and survivability. So I can stand AFK in the Simulacrum tier 15, I can stand AFK in some Uber boss encounters. There are still things that can one-shot me, so there are still stupid high damage content in the game, which can one-shot even this character. So these 3 things cost me like 500 divines. This thing cost me almost 100 divine to make. This is a very difficult, this is double influence shield to craft, and this is like a mandatory item, so you cannot play this build without this item. You want both recover the shield on block, and you want gain endurance fancy power charges. You need these both stats, and then you need to like be lucky and hit some good extra suffix, which I settled on lightning resist tier 2. And then you need to basically beastcraft and spam exalts until you hit chance to block, which is like I think 1 out of 300 or something like this. So it's 0.3% chance to hit tier 1 chance to block on the exalt. And I hit it from like 30th attempt or something, so I got lucky, and I had to settle with this spell damage. So guys, I did a lot of crafting this league, like very much time spent on crafting. I think I spent almost half of the game in hideout crafting items, and I could make a video on this, so I could make guides on how to craft. I could make like all kind of things on crafting, how to craft every piece of gear for this build, for Vortex of Projection, which I played. And another thing is, I also put some written crafting guides in the Discord, and I will write more if requested. So how to craft your wand, how to craft your helical ring, how I crafted my double influence helical ring. So you can just come on Discord and read this. You can also chat with us in RPG channel. It's double language, so it's in Russian and in English. And yeah, so that's about crafting. There will be another video about crafting, so because that's a very huge topic to discuss. And but I want to show you what I have done to this build to make a change. So first off, we are using Energy Blade, and this gives us damage, probably even more damage than Archmage, to be honest. So without Energy Blade, I have pushed my build to 42,000 ES, and with Energy Blade we have only 20,000 energy shield, 20,400, but this gives us insane amount of damage. So look, without this we have, for example, 130,000 DPS on Frostblink, and with this we have 2,200,000 DPS on Frostblink. So our Frostblink alone is possible to clear the maps, like the usual maps, without like so yeah. So for ascendancy, this is the node which is build enabling. It converts your main head damage to spell damage, and basically that means this is our spell damage. So over 8,000 raw spell damage, and this is basically allows this build to exist. Overall, Inquisitor is also a very nice ascendancy. It's a bit more tanky. It has less quality of life, like it doesn't allow you to have constant charges like Hierophant. It has less area of effect, of course, but it's still a very strong, a very good ascendancy to play. Like it has damage mitigation here, 8% damage mitigation, consecrated ground constant, because that is a good quality of life, so you have more energy shield. I will show you. When I move, I have less. Yes, when I stand, I have 3,600, and this is very good quality of life. No way, what is this shit? Okay, so I have showed you my chest piece, right? So these 3 items I have crafted, and this was very expensive. So overall I spent about 500 divine just on these 4 items, maybe 600. And basically I was like broke, I had no money. and I didn't have a desire to farm like currency by 1-2 divines per map. So I sold off my previous gear, which was also quite good, and I sold it for like a good price. The thing is, this is our new tree, and it's very good looking, so it's very clean. So just yesterday I have reworked my tree and I had 15,000 energy shield, but as my clusters were complete, and the clusters I'm talking about first is this cluster. This is a perfect cluster you want for this build. It gives you a flat energy shield, it gives you all attributes. You could use the intelligence, but all attributes is just as good here. You want 3% cast speed, and the reason why 3% cast speed is because 35% increase effect makes it 4% cast speed. And without this cast speed, the build is very shit to play. It's like losing the speed we had on the Vortex. So this is the speed we had on the Vortex pretty much. This is the one. And this is what you want to have, basically. This is crazy, stupid movement speed. And also you want your stacks of Incinerate to ramp up quickly. If it ramps up slowly, your effective damage is in the garbage dumpster. So you want those large clusters to have energy shield, attribute, or intelligence, or strength. But most importantly, you want 3% cast speed. And here I was crafting the second cluster. I wasn't that lucky, so I spent a lot of currency, and I still... Basically, the best roll I got 2% cast speed. I have settled for now. I will recraft it someday later. I'll probably get another cluster to craft, because this one costs a lot of money. Let's check it. Yeah, I believe this is like 90 divines, 80 divines, at the very bottom. Okay, so these large clusters are a little bit easier to craft than the small ones. And this one costs 80 divines. So this one costs... Wait, what the fuck? The intelligence one, so all attributes is actually cheaper. That's not exactly correct. But okay, so... between 10 intelligence and 5 all attributes, it's not exactly the intelligence isn't that much better. It's a little bit better probably, but not that much. Because strength also gives us a lot, and you need some dexterity to fill your minimum requirements. Yeah, so this cluster is like bees, best in slot. This one has to be upgraded, so I'm losing 2% cast speed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 14% cast speed, I can get more if I recraft this cluster, if I craft another one. So I have spent 3 days, last 3 days crafting clusters, and it has been extremely frustrating experience. It's very difficult to craft these clusters. It's very difficult to craft them. I'm talking about these clusters. Let's check the price. 120 divines. But this is 2 attributes, so I have settled on tier 5 2 attribute. And basically you want this. Yeah, 1 mirror, guys. One mirror. I think it's about 500 divines for this class, so it's definitely not a mirror. For a mirror, you can get a mirror cluster, pay some fee and get a mirror cluster. It will be like a tiny bit better. It'll be like 6 soul attributes, and it will be like... it will have some implicit like plus 5 intellect, plus 5 strength. Yeah, so mirror cluster, people who get this cluster just mirror because it's such a pain in the ass to craft. So first off, you need the base. You need this base with mana reservation, it costs some money. And then you need to craft 2 good... So you don't want to fracture 1 out of 4 on expensive base, you want to roll 2 good stats, tier 1. And the weights on those small clusters are obnoxiously bad. So the chances of rolling 1 tier 1 stat is like 1 out of 100. And you need to spam like alteration essence. Again, I'll make another video on crafting someday. But the thing is, it's very hard to roll even 2 good stats. Not just 4 good stats, just 2 good stats. You want to roll perfect like energy shield, effect, like intelligence, and you want to fracture them. So once you get 2 good stats, and you get several of these classes, you use your fraction orbs, which also go in price lately. And then you want to hit like energy shield, intelligence, and effect. So these are all good. Intelligence, intelligence. Yeah. So you just want to have like 3 good stats and not useless 4th stat. That's the settle. Going for 4 perfect stats is extremely expensive, so you have to like the last slam still has the same odds, like 1 out of 100 to hit a tier 1 stat, so you would have to craft this cluster like 50 more times to just slam the right stat. Okay, so the cost grows exponentially. I'm not sure how people craft. I think they craft them with like Hinikoro locks for the last stat or something like this, because it's that difficult to hit like 3 stats. Yes, they would just make a magic item, so they would roll magic item to have 2 perfect stats, then they would imprint it, and then they would regale until the 3rd stat is perfect, and when they have 3 perfect stats, the 4th stat would probably require Hinikoro lock and cost 91 per roll, and there are still like 1 out of 100 odds to hit it, so like just 100 Hinikoro locks and you have your mirror tier cluster. So of course I cannot craft a mirror tier J. I don't have the funding, I don't have like massive guild support for me, but I think out of what we can craft, this is like the best item. Yeah, and it gave me incredible boost. So these clusters, not only they give the mana reservation like 24% per cluster, but they give massive stats, give massive energy shield. Yeah, and they give massive energy shield and massive damage. That brought my energy shield from 15,000 to 20,000, also simply making my DPS a lot more. Yeah, and this made build a lot cleaner. So we go like this, and we still keep our double speed personality, because this gives us a massive boost for low cost, and this is the right way to settle them. So we go around, instead of going like 2 ways, you go around and you benefit like the most from the distance. This is just raw stats. So another jewel I have bought for my build is, I think, Emperor Mastery. So almost 1,000 of energy shield and gives us decent DPS boost. It's not the greatest like item you could buy, but it's very solid for what it's worth for 1 jewel socket. And yeah, and we have the 3rd cluster. The 3rd cluster is short. So I actually thought, well, you could set up voices. If you have a mirror for voices with 1 point, you could set up voices for more jewel sockets. But if you don't have a mirror, you set up this cluster because it's short. And the 2 things you want for quality of life is well, this gain power charge when you block is not very effective because it's only 20%, but the block spell damage 6% is very good for us. And the second thing is this one. So you want either, I think, Arcane Adept or Arcane Heroism, because it gives you Arcane Surge. And Arcane Surge requires you to spend mana on casting. Yeah, you have to spend mana, and Channeling skill basically doesn't spend that much mana. And with this node we have Arcane Surge after 1 second of casting, so we have it almost constantly when we use our main spell. And Arcane Surge is a massive boost, so in DPS, in quality of life, in a cast speed. So you want to have these 2 nodes, for example, and you will get 2 more jewel sockets. So these jewel sockets are pain in ass to craft, they're extremely expensive, but they give you more than any kind of like node here if you take. So like, per point you get more stats, more value, more energy shield, more DPS. So another expensive upgrade I have made just yesterday. I have removed Historic Jewel a few days ago, and I put, like, the cheap version here will be +2 attributes. Yeah, you can use +2 attributes and it will give you more at this stage than like a Historic Jewel, which like a Rakiata with double damage or Militant Faith. And you don't need to reduce mana cost on this build. You want you either resistances or damage, and the thing is, like this is the base item. So I bought it for 125 divines yesterday. It's expensive, but basically it's worth it because it's the best item. You don't want anything else. This gives out 3% increased energy shield, and that's basically almost 2000 energy shield for us. And the thing is, our energy shield, because we use energy blade, converts into damage. And because we allocated tranquility, it also gives us more damage. So 3% energy shield is 1% damage, and all these nodes are giving us damage. So this is the beast item. I probably will need to double corrupt it, but I just yeah, I'm not willing to gamble with 125 divines at this stage of the game. If I had unlimited currency, I would double corrupt it. The best corruption to get is immune to corrupted blood, area of effect, and stuff like this. I tried to get this corruption here. I also failed like 10 times for now. Also, I want area of effect and immune to corrupted blood. This corruption is not completely useless, but it's not worth it to have. You want a different one. Yeah, so as far as the build goes, we have massive stack of int, we have a stack of dexterity, and we have decent stack of strength, which gives us damage via Iron Will. And for the Forbidden Flesh, also spent like 60 or 80 divines on this. I got Sanctuary of Thought. Sanctuary of Thought gives you mana regen. It doesn't give you area of effect, unfortunately, anymore, because we don't have unreserved mana. But it gives you mana regen, which you need, probably. And it gives you energy shield. And energy shield scales in both damage and survivability, so this is very good. So the second thing I can also show you is the flask setup. You want to have granny flask for armor. You want to have armor. Because we use divine shield, you want to have your armor above your energy shield. And this is actually a point turn for me, because there will be a limit to how much CS can grow without growing my armor. So ideally I want to have a mirror piece, chest piece, which has increased global defenses, because that will boost our armor naturally by like 5,000, 6,000. Yeah, that's what I want. You also want increased armor on your flask affix. And of course we are running determination. Determination aura. So this build is quite tanky. It's the tankiest build I have ever played, of course. And it has massive effective hit pool. It has massive max hit because of our energy shield size. There is something else I wanted to show as well. So my bound by destiny stuff is the same. Can take reflected damage. You could probably roll the flask for cannot reduce reflect, and then you could grab your Pantheon node for reflect, but this means you lose 2% life per second, which is energy shield. You lose physical damage reduction, which is also bad, and all you get is just reduced effective curses, and basically that's it. So that's the thing you can play around, but I think that Soul of Tokuhama is straight out better, and the Bound by Destiny, which has spell crit, costs a lot more than the Reflect version. So I will just take Reflect version for now. I'm not sure if I should swap for just like... I'm trying to fix my crit other ways, because Incinerate weapon has a very low crit chance. Very low, so despite our us having like 1000 crit chance with our strength, we are still not capped on crit. I could improve double corruption here, but this is very difficult. So I'll show you my sockets. I have Haste Aura, Discipline Aura, Determination Aura, and Enlighten. So this Enlighten as well I have bought for 22 divines, I believe. It's level 4, but because we have a corruption for +1 level, it's basically level 5. And here I also have Enlighten, level 4. And we have Arctic Armor, Purity, and Flesh of Purity I will switch, so because this ruins Doriani, I'll have to switch to I think probably cold, purity of ice, and then I'll switch flask. So I have to buy another flask with this crafted suffix, basically make it on lightning flask, and then my resistance will be fixed. Yeah, already talked, we want area of effect on the build, so I got this 16% and 10%, so 26%. Another very important thing is that shield gives +2 level of socket to support gems, and this we are also using enhanced level 4, and this brings it to level 6. And because it's level 6, our energy plate takes a lot less energy shield. Yeah, so 17,000 energy shield without enhance and 3 million DPS. Much higher DPS, 20% more DPS and basically 20% more energy shield. So you want enhanced level 4, even level 5 would be good, but that's probably costs a mirror or something. And yeah, +2 level of socket with support gems. So haste is very good for this build again, because we want cast speed for Incinerate of Venton, for Frost Blink, and this basically puts the quality of life back. For the main weapon you don't care what you use, but you want to have probably Abyss Socket. Why not? It's basically free, you just grab any item with Abyss Socket from the trade, and the Abyss Socket will preserve itself. My Abyss Socket is not perfect, so I'll probably have to change it. Just didn't have, I didn't find something to buy. And you get Tempest Shield, you get Arctic Armor. So for the damage mitigation, I already showed you what we have in Ascendancy. We have more damage mitigation from Infused Channeling, 40% less damage. We have more damage mitigation through chest piece. So ideally you want here damage taken less when you have like pure intelligence. I just can't bother to roll it for now. I'm thinking of recrafting the entire item. So less damage taken per turn will effectively give you at least 10% less damage taken from all sources. And this is better than just physical damage taken from hits as chaos damage. So we're immune to chaos damage. We have massive resistances. It will probably go higher when I find a way to solve this. Probably I need the voices to fit another jewels here or something like this. Yeah, but yes, and for the unique flask, basically with Mageblood you have to use one unique flask. I have found probably this one is the best quality of life overall. So it's unfortunately Implicit is useless, plus 1500 armor. It doesn't give us anything because we already have Granite Flask and we cannot not use it. So Implicit is effectively useless, but the 12% block, 6% block, which is almost always uptime, it's also a massive quality of life. And the thing is, you could suit up, for example, Grace, Evasion, but you don't want that. So I had Grace, I had the Jade Flask, which was perfectly rolled, and I removed them for the Grinding Flask and for this chance to block, because our charge generation comes when you block. This is very important. So this is the key thing in this build. If you don't have this shield, the build is not going to work because you don't have any charges. And without charges, it's a very miserable experience to play. You could get Conviction of Power instead of Snatcher of Thought, but then use like 2000 energy shield. I'm not sure it's worth it, the trade-off, but the thing is, you want enemies to hit you, so you could block the attacks. And if you like dodge the attacks, I think the block will not work, and it will be not as sustainable, not as high uptime on the charges when you fight. Another thing I probably have to craft when I have a lot of currency, I need a mirror for this, or 2 mirrors, is a helical ring with a reflection. It's very difficult to craft, unfortunately. It's probably need Hinicore locks for it. Yeah, I'm not sure about that for now. Yeah, so this is my new character, guys. It's not bad. It's also fun to play. I mean, overall it's more tanky. It's a little bit clumsy on clearing. Probably clear the most via the blink rather than using channel spell. I mean, Vortex has its downsides because it's a nice no which is casting Frostbolt, so it uses 2 buttons, and it's not omnidirectional. It's like going one side. So that's the biggest downside. For this spell, the downside. For Incinerate the Venting, the downside is that it doesn't have that big AoE effect, and it's a channeling skill, so it's just you stand and you channel, yeah. Терпеть.
Ебать! Вот это крафт. Блять, это перфектно. Перфектный камень. Сколько? Ну, почти перфектный. Вместо 5 было бы 6. Так, мне надо 20 и 14. Затрафил. Так, давай еще.